The sirens start at 2:14 in the morning. You are not asleep. IRGC commanders do not sleep on nights like this. You have been watching the radar screens for 6 hours. You have seen what is coming. You have reported it up the chain. You have waited for orders that never arrived. Now the sky above Tehran is on fire, and you are about to find out exactly what your rank means when the most powerful military on Earth decides it is your turn. This is not a drill. This is not a simulation. This is the night the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps finds out whether everything it built for 40 years was enough. It was not.
Level 1, the Basij Volunteer. You are 19 years old and you believe. Not because someone told you to, because belief is the only thing your neighborhood ever gave you for free. The mosque on your street has been telling you since you were 8 years old that the revolution is sacred, that the enemies of Iran are the enemies of God, that dying for the supreme leader is the highest thing a man can do with his life. So you joined the Basij. You get a uniform, a rifle, a weekly allowance that is not enough to live on, but just enough to make you feel like you matter. Your job is crowd control, street patrols, checkpoints. You are the bottom of the pyramid, the street-level face of a system that goes so far above you that you cannot see the top. You have never fired your weapon at anything except a target range. Tonight, that changes. The explosion 3 blocks from your checkpoint does not sound like an explosion. It sounds like the world ending. The ground moves, car alarms scream, your radio fills with voices talking at once, and none of them making sense. Your commanding officer is shouting at you to hold your position. You hold your position. Another explosion, closer. You are 19 years old and you believe. But belief does not stop shrapnel. Level 2, the conscript. You did not choose this. You were conscripted at 18. Every Iranian male serves. You had no particular ideology, no particular hatred. You had a mother who cried when they took you and a university place that was supposed to start in September. Now you are 22, and you are in a reinforced underground position on the outskirts of Tehran, and the ceiling is shaking with every impact above you. Your sergeant tells you the air defense systems are handling it. You can hear from the ceiling that the air defense systems are not handling it. You have been in the IRGC ground forces for 4 years. You know how to follow orders. You know how to maintain your equipment. You know how to look like a soldier. What you do not know is how to process the fact that the base you were stationed at 3 weeks ago no longer exists. You saw the satellite images. You were not supposed to see them, but you did. 40 men you knew, gone in 11 seconds. The ceiling shakes again. You grip your rifle and you think about September. Level 3, the intelligence officer. You knew this was coming. That is the thing nobody will ever understand about your position. You wrote the reports. You filed the assessments. You told people above you with more stars on their shoulders exactly what was being prepared on the other side. They told you to revise your conclusions. So, you revised your conclusions. Now you are sitting in a secure underground facility watching everything you predicted happen in real time on a screen in front of you. The most dangerous feeling in the world is settling into your chest. You were right. Being right when the people above you were wrong is not a career achievement in the IRGC. It is a liability. The supreme leader is dead. The confirmation came 40 minutes ago through channels so secure that only 12 people in Iran received it simultaneously. You are one of the 12. The report you now have to write is the most important document in the Islamic Republic's history. You open a new file. You stare at the blank page. You have no idea who you are writing it for anymore.
Level 4, the Air Defense Commander. Your entire career has been building to a night like this. 22 years in the IRGC Air Defense Network. You have trained for this scenario in every configuration imaginable. You have wargamed it. You have stress-tested it. You have stood in front of generals and ministers and told them with complete confidence that your systems could handle a strike of this magnitude. You believed it when you said it. The first wave came in from 3 directions simultaneously. Your batteries engaged. Your radar operators were sharp. Your intercept rate in the first 11 minutes was better than your most optimistic simulation. Then the second wave hit. Not missiles, not aircraft, something smaller, something that flew lower than your radar floor. Dozens of them from directions your sensors were not oriented toward, because everything about your defensive posture was built around the threat you expected, not the threat they actually sent. 17 of your 23 radar installations are now offline. You are coordinating air defense for a capital city using 6 radar stations and personal mobile phones because the secure communication network went down in the second wave. Your hands are not shaking. You need your hands to not be shaking. You pick up the phone, you call the first remaining station. You do your job, because doing your job is the only thing left.
Level 5, the Quds Force Operator. You have not been inside Iran in 4 years. You run operations across 7 countries, assets in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, Gaza. You have spent your entire career building the network that makes Iran dangerous beyond its borders, the proxy architecture, the forward deterrence, the idea that attacking Iran means getting hit from 6 directions you did not expect. Tonight, you were in Beirut watching the strike on Tehran from a safe house television. Your phone has not stopped vibrating since the first explosion. Every proxy commander in your network is asking the same question. What are the orders? You do not have orders. Your chain of command has just lost its top 3 links in a single night. You are the most senior Quds Force officer currently reachable, which means in approximately 2 hours, every decision about whether the network retaliates, stands down, or goes to ground is going to land on you. You did not get to this position by panicking. You pour a glass of water. You sit down. You start making a list of every asset you can activate in the next 6 hours without authorization from Tehran. The network your enemies spent 20 years trying to destroy is still intact. You built it to survive exactly this. Now you find out if you built it well enough.
Level 6, the General. There are 7 of you left. 72 hours ago, there were 19 IRGC generals with active command authority. The strikes were not random. They were not aimed at infrastructure. They were not aimed at missile batteries. They were aimed at you, specifically, personally, by name. The targeting intelligence they used was better than anything you thought they had. Safe houses only 4 people knew about, vehicles that had never appeared on any surveillance record, communication devices that had never transmitted a single message on any monitored frequency. Someone talked. You do not know who. You may never know who, but someone gave them the map of your lives and they followed it with surgical precision, and now there are 7 where there were 19. You are meeting in a location chosen 30 minutes ago by pointing at a random building on a paper map with a pen. No phones, no electronics of any kind. 7 men in a room deciding whether the Islamic Republic survives the next 72 hours. One of the 7 suggests opening a channel to negotiate. Another puts his hand on his weapon. You have given 40 years to this institution. You have never once questioned whether it was worth it. Until tonight. Level 7, the Successor. Nobody wanted this seat. That is the first thing you need to understand. Every man in that room, when they handed you the responsibility, looked at the floor, not out of respect, out of relief that it was not them. The Supreme Leader is dead. The Guardian Council is scattered. 3 of its members are confirmed dead. 2 are unreachable. The constitutional process for succession assumes a functioning government in a functioning capital city. You do not have either of those things right now. What you have is a title, a guards unit of 40 men outside the door, a country of 90 million people who woke up this morning to find out that the man who was supposed to be divinely guided and therefore untouchable was killed in his own compound before he could reach the shelter 12 meters beneath it. You have the IRGC, fractured and bleeding, but still the most powerful military institution in the Middle East that is still standing. And you have a decision that cannot wait. The world is watching to see if the Islamic Republic dies with 1 man or survives him. You sit down in the chair. It is still warm. You pick up the only working phone in the building. You do not call Washington. You do not call Moscow. You call the one number that has been waiting for exactly this moment. The line picks up on the first ring. The throne is empty, the arsenal is still full, and somewhere outside Iran's borders, 3 men are already deciding who fills the vacuum first. One of them has been waiting 15 years for a phone to ring. Subscribe to War Room Intel for weekly breakdowns of this war.